So good afternoon. Today we are here to discuss about diabetes mellitus. So you all know you have heard about diabetes, right? What is the significant feature of diabetes, or what do you mean by diabetes? Hyperglycemia. So diabetes is a lifelong or chronic disease which is defined as a metabolic disorder characterized by hyperglycemia, which means high blood glucose levels. So that is the main characteristic feature of diabetes. And what are the signs and symptoms or common signs and symptoms of diabetes? The patient will be having polyuria, polyphagia, polydipsia, and weight loss, poor healing of wounds, and so on. These are the common symptoms of diabetes. So, next we'll discuss about signs and symptoms in detail. So, I have already told that the patient will be having excessive thirst, right? So that is that is related to polyuria. Then polyphagia means hunger will be in higher level. The patient will be also having higher levels of thirst. That is polydipsia. Then polyuria means frequent urge to urinate. Also the patient will be gradually suffering from blurred vision, fatigue, numbness or tingling effects, then slow wound healing, red swollen tender gums, itchy skin and irritability. These are the common symptoms of a diabetic patient. So next we move on to the classification. We have main classification as type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So we have classified it into mainly into two, because this type 1 is insulin dependent or juvenile onset diabetes. Then type 2 we can say it as non-insulin dependent. So that is because type 1 we have insulin dependent because there is insulin deficiency in type 1 diabetic patients, because it's an autoimmune disease. That is our own immune system will be destructing the beta cells of our body. So what happens when beta cells are destructed? What happens? Insulin production will be completely off, right? So insulin won't be produced, no more insulin will be produced in the body. So patient will be suffering from insulin deficiency. No more beta cells, so no more insulin production. So that is we say it is insulin dependent diabetes, okay, deficiency. Next is type 2. So we say it as insulin resistance. Why? Beta cells is present in the body. Beta cells produces or secretes insulin, but the cells won't be sensitive to insulin. The cells won't react or act on insulins. So only when insulin is active or cells are sensitive to insulin, the glucose will be taken up by the cells, right? So insulin acts as a glucose controller in our body. So whenever the cells are insensitive to insulin, glucose won't be taken up by the cells. So that as a result, what happens? Hyperglycemia occurs. So that's about type 1 and type 2 diabetes. We also have gestational diabetes and other types of diabetes. So in gestational diabetes, when it happens, gestational diabetes, pregnancy, right? So mainly gestational diabetes will be visible in the month in the second or third trimester, mainly in the second trimester. Exactly, if we say it, 24th to 28th week of gestation. That's the exact period where gestational diabetes is diagnosed. So before that we will be doing a GTT test, glucose tolerance test. Nothing but we will be giving the patient to drink a syrupy solution. Then after 1 or 2 hours we will be taking the blood samples and looking towards the glucose levels. Okay. So that is how we diagnose gestational diabetes, exactly in the second trimester, or it can be diagnosed in the third trimester. Next is other type of diabetes, that is neonatal diabetes and MODY, maturity onset diabetes in young adult. So neonatal diabetes is different from type 1 because it occurs or it can be diagnosed in the month of 9 month of age. That is, patient or the neonates will be having diabetes, or they will be diagnosed with diabetes in the month of 9 or after that. So that is the difference between type 1 and neonatal diabetes. Then maturity onset, that is genetical or familial inherited. Mainly that is that happens due to genetic mutation. Okay. So that's all about types or classification. So regarding risk factors of type 1 diabetes, that is occurring mainly due to autoimmunity, right? So they will be producing autoantibodies in the diabetic patients, so that autoantibodies goes to the beta cells and destruct the beta cells. So as the number of beta cell decreases, insulin production also will be decreased. Some other reasons are also there, risk factors are also there. Dietary factors, that is mainly in children. Dietary factors means children will be early when we introduce this prepared formula milk, right? Lactose, likewise. So formula milk, early introduction of cow's milk, formula milk, or low vitamin D supplementation or consumption. So in neonates, we will be giving what? Vitamin D3 syrup, right? Drops. So vitamin D3 drops, if that consumption is lower, then the risk of getting type 1 diabetes is higher. So that are about dietary factors. In some cases, type 1 diabetes is also can happen or diagnosed in whites. According to races also, in whites there will be type 1 diabetes risk. Then geography, in certain countries the risk of getting type 1 diabetes is higher. Finland, Sweden, and likewise countries. That's all about risk factors of type 1. And regarding type 2, why it happens? Type 2, main reason is obesity, sedentary lifestyles, unhealthy eating habits, and family history or genetics, right? So we'll be eating junk foods and all, right? So that can lead to obesity or deposition of unsaturated fatty acids. Likewise, that can increase cardiovascular risk. That will be finally resulting in higher levels of glucose in our body. So this obesity, main reason is obesity in type 2. So type 2 happens in the age of after 40 years of age. Okay, after 40 years of age, if the family, if it is familial or either one of the parent is having diabetes, the risk of getting diabetes to the sibling, child is at higher risk. But the child will be diagnosed with diabetes only after 30 or 40 years of age. Okay. So gestational diabetes we have already discussed. So gestational diabetes, in case of gestational diabetes, it is completely normal that the pregnant women will be having the diabetes only in that period, second or third trimester after delivery. Pregnant lady after delivery, she will be normalized with the glucose levels, and the newborn will not be affected with the diabetes. Okay, but the risk for getting diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is higher in that pregnant lady in the later stages of life. Okay, once the pregnant lady is having gestational diabetes, in the later stages after delivery, blood glucose levels will be normal, but later on, later stages, this the patient will be at higher risk of getting type 2 diabetes. Okay, that is the another risk factor, one of the risk factor. Okay, that's all about today's class. We can just brief it. So we have already told about diabetes. It is a metabolic disorder which is characterized by hypoglycemia, and we have discussed the signs and symptoms. Main signs and symptoms are polyuria, polydipsia, polyphagia, weight loss, blurred vision, slow healing of wounds, and all. Then we have discussed about the classification. Type 1 and type 2 are the main classification. Then comes the gestational diabetes. Other type of diabetes are neonatal diabetes and maturity onset. So type 1 and type 1 is insulin deficiency and type 2 is insulin resistance. Okay.